Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ Phanatic Beats, content contributor for liveoffbeats.com. And if you'd like to follow me, you can always follow me at Twitter at DJ Phanatic or Instagram at DJ Phanatic Beats. And Phanatic is Phanatic if you'd like to follow me. Today's video is a nice little trick, especially when you get loops or you have like samples you put in to your project. I know there's a lot of sample based producers, and this is kind of a cool trick of a tool that a lot of people don't tend to overlook, and a lot of people don't use, not that I know of. And it's a quick way to take an ordinary loop and kind of just be creative with it in a different way. So I just pull up a random loop and um, you know, I'm gonna do like just experiment on what I want to do to change this loop. So let's just play it how it is right now. So I believe it's gonna repeat here. Yeah, a little different at the end. So what I'm gonna do first, what you can do to change this loop to kind of, you can always use anything really, like a soul sample or a loop. We're just going to use a loop for an example here. What you can do instead of, let's choose your slice tool here and make sure your snap to grid is at a certain, I could use half step or regular step, but I'm going to use regular step. And just actually cut it in good steps here. If I can comprehend. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just chop it at every beat. Let's just see what this is gonna do. And I'm gonna show you an example of how you can make this a little more creative and just kind of make it your own. So you can always chop it in like half steps or even third steps or 1/3 beat. You can get really complex with your chops, and you can even do none and then just kind of really mangle it using this tool I'm going to show you. But notice everything still plays the same. The chops just edit that particular audio. Now this tool right here, slip, you choose that, and what you can do, is move the audio in this region, and you can slide the audio to a different area. So what it is basically a copy of the entire piece, and you can kind of move it around and create new melodies. And that's a cool way you can do with your samples. See, I pulled it all the way to the left where it starts over again. So let's play and see what that sounds like. See, already it has like a different vibe to it. So let me just move this way and see what it sounds like. And I kind of like how that ended there, and instead of having all these spaces like we did before, it's already taken shape. So what I'm gonna do is get the slice tool here. I'm just vibing off of what I heard, and I'm gonna actually delete that, hold shift down, left click, and duplicate that. So let's see what that sounds like. Hey, so that actually came out pretty good. I'm gonna select the slip tool again. It's up here under these other options, but the slip tool has the 2 arrows, and also you can always look up here in the left hint panel if you're not sure what it is. But it's this little 2 arrows that just shows you can move audio around. It's a very powerful tool, especially when you use loops or samples, and you kind of just come up with crazy or creative or very unique ways quickly, when you're working on your music. So I don't know what I want to do with this sound. Let's see what this sounds. Let me hear what it sounds like again by itself. I like how it finishes. Let me just see what this sounds like. So it kind of starts over. Let's see what. That sounds crazy. Yeah, I kind of like that ending better. So let's see what that. And that's how it sounded normally. You hear how simple it is. It just has that little melody and then it's over. So this is a lot more musical or creative. It depends, um, on the producer. But I find that a little more busier than just having these gaps and just that simple melody. So this kind of has more movement. And I don't want it to finish. I kind of want that to keep going so I can just keep adding music to it. So let's take these two here. You can hold Control Shift and select both, and hold Shift left click and just drag it over. Another way would be just Control B and it'll just snap it to the grid. And notice I only, speaking of snap to grid, I used it by steps. So every time I use the slip tool, I'm going to show you here as an example, I'm moving it just in steps. Okay, and if I change it to half steps, I'm moving it in smaller increments. See how it's moving in between each line here? Let me open that up so you can see better. Check it out. See? So I'm moving in half steps. So you can get really precise with where you want to slide the audio, and you can always do none too. None is you can get some really cool. If you slide it, it's basically like on a really small increment, where it almost seems like it's fluid, but it's actually I think they call it sense. But anyway, you can experiment with none as well. So anyway, let me play it again. So I can like really just go ham with the with the setting on none and just kind of just come up with something crazy, but I'm not gonna do that in this video because it may take time and I don't want to just make up some random loop. I mean, bore you guys to death with trying to come up with some dope. So excuse me. So but anyway, you get the idea. That's a powerful tool. That's a little it's called a slip tool, and it's always up here. Excuse me. And you can let me snap the grid to step, and you pretty much duplicate that. Control B, and then you can just add other elements on this. You already have. And I want to make that unique, and you can go to here and go here. Let's just do something crazy, see what that's like. Hey, so there you go. You can do that pretty much with anything. You get a drum loop in here. You can rearrange drums like that too. So any audio, it's non-destructive. You can, select a tool and just kind of shift things around until you find something totally different than what you started out with. You can use that with samples too, like songs or whatever, or like lush pads or something. You can just rearrange things and make it your own and unique. And also with drums, like I mentioned. So you can do it with pretty much anything. And just wanted to share that powerful tool that tends to be overlooked. I used it in a bunch of beats, and I actually didn't know what it was for a while ago. I mean, years ago. But I mean, as you keep working in, you know, certain programs, you tend to like learn new things and new techniques. So hopefully that helps you, and feel free to experiment with it. You know, your next beat, just click on that, and you know, it's a little golden nugget. You know what I'm saying, that people tend to overlook, or I overlooked for a long time. So hopefully, you know, it's brought to light for you. So anyway, again, it's DJ Phanatic Beats, content contributor for liveoffbeats.com, and feel free to follow me on Twitter at DJ Phanatic, or Instagram if you like, at DJ Phanatic Beats. All right, definitely feel free to experiment with this, and I'm sure you'll come out with some really dope results. All right, peace.